Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. And yesterday I went over what I thought a realistic Biden landslide could look like in the 2020 presidential election. So today what I wanted to do is kind of look at the other side of the coin and see what a realistic Trump landslide could look like. Right now on 538, Biden's currently given an 89% chance of victory compared to just 11% for Donald Trump. That being said, pretty much any political pundit, any political analyst out there will tell you that Trump absolutely does have a chance of victory, even if it's not likely. So today, what I want to do is really look at what the best possible outcome that's still reasonable that the Trump campaign can reasonably expect to get on election night. And so yesterday I looked at with Biden, like we have this dot way out here in one of the projected simulations on 538. And I mean, this is kind of ridiculous. It pretty much has no chance of happening, like 497. You see a bunch of deep red states going blue here. That's never going to happen. But on Trump's side, a lot of the more extreme examples seem to be a lot more reasonable. You know, we have this one's the furthest one out here, and it only gets Trump to 328, which is pretty close to what I would envision the best reasonable scenario for Trump being. So I want to go ahead, take a look at the electoral map here, start from scratch, and see where we can get and what I think the best possible landslide outcome for President Trump would be. So we can go ahead and we can start with some of the safe red states that we pretty much know no matter what happens on election night, these states are going to go red. So we can go ahead and give states in this area: Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah. We go over here to Oklahoma, a lot of the Midwestern states. You got to be careful with Nebraska since they split their electoral votes. So we're going to start give everything to Trump except for the second district, which we'll come back to later. The Dakotas, Missouri, all the deep south except for Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, and then over here, kind of in the East Coast, there's really nothing that we can give to Trump right away for the deep red states. So now we can go ahead and look at the deep blue states. These are the states that Biden is pretty much going to win no matter what. And even if Trump massively outperforms and has a landslide victory, I don't foresee these states going in Trump's favor. So that would be obviously California, Oregon, Washington, Minnesota probably. That one maybe could be debated a little bit, but I don't think Minnesota is going to go red. Virginia, with its explosion of population growth with demographics in the northern region of Virginia. And then obviously DC, and we have all these little New England states up here, except for New Hampshire, which we will also come back to later. So this is sort of, oh, and Illinois, of course, and New York, and Hawaii. There. So 205 for Biden, 122 for Trump. But from here, we can look at a lot of the swing states and not so swing states, and we can see, you know, what are the potential outcomes here. So we can start Alaska. That I don't think it's a 100% guarantee for Trump on election night, but probably like 98, 99% chance. You can go ahead and give that to him. Nevada went for Clinton in 16, but in a Trump landslide scenario, it's certainly realistic that he would end up winning Nevada. So we can go ahead and give that to him. Arizona is shifting blue, but went red in 16. We can give that to him. Texas is a perennial red state, and it's pretty rapidly shifting blue, it seems like. I don't think it's going to go blue this year. We might have to wait another cycle or 2 or 3 for that to happen, but for this scenario, we can give that to Trump again. A lot of the Rust Belt blue wall type states, well, Iowa and Ohio are not really part of the blue wall, but they went red in 16. Give those to Trump again. We can expect in this scenario for a repeat of the Rust Belt collapse of the blue wall scenario. So give Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania to Trump. Now he's at 250. North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, also 3 more states that Trump won in 2016. And we'll have to see the actual outcome on election night again, but in this scenario, we can expect those to be given to Trump again. Now, I want to take a look at Colorado and New Mexico because some people might think that in a Trump landslide, he would be able to win these. Personally, I don't think Trump has a very good chance of winning these. If we go over to the projected vote share of these states on 538, we can see that Colorado has a forecasted vote share of just about 43% for Trump and a little over 55% for Biden. And then for New Mexico, it's even a little more drastic. Pretty much the same, like 43% for Trump, 55% for Biden, but it's a little further down on the winding path to victory. I don't think it's very realistic for the Trump campaign to go for these. And obviously they don't need to go for them because at this point they're already at 310, but I don't think that these are really states that are in play, at least not this cycle or in the near future. So I will actually give those to Biden. That being said, there are a few other places that Trump also has the potential to pick up. Nebraska's 2nd district has the potential to go either way this cycle, but Trump won it in 2016, and he could certainly win it again, so we can give that one electoral vote to him. Hopping over to New Hampshire, which Hillary Clinton actually won by just 0.4%, very close state in 2016, and in this scenario, we can also give that to Trump. Now, Maine is the final state we can look at here. This one's a little bit interesting because you have to remember that they also divide up their electoral votes and the districts are a little bit different. So, like right now, we have Maine's 2nd district, which is the most red part of Maine, but that's still slightly in favor of Joe Biden. And then you go down the line a little bit, and then you get Maine, the statewide at-large part, and then Maine's 1st district all the way down here. So I would say from this 1st district of Maine, going to go Joe Biden. I don't think there's much of a chance for Trump to take that over. That being said, the 2nd district absolutely in play, and I would even say Maine at large is in play in this scenario. So there you have it. I would put a realistic Trump landslide at 318 electoral votes for him and 220 electoral votes for Joe Biden. Now, I do want to be clear that I don't think this is actually going to be the outcome on election night, just as in my video yesterday with the Biden landslide. I don't think that these landslide scenarios are very realistic in the sense that I would be very surprised to actually see these outcomes on election night. I think either way, this election is going to be a lot closer than people might think it may be on both sides. So we'll just have to see what happens. But I do think this is the best the Trump campaign should realistically hope for. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more election analysis in the future. Be sure to give it a like, and I will see you next time.